Good morning/afternoon, everyone. Today, I want to give you something powerful, something that doesn't take weeks, months, or a genetic lottery ticket, just 48 hours. That's right. You can boost your leg power in 48 hours if you understand how to speak the language of your nervous system, your muscles, and your recovery systems. This isn't hype. It's biology. Let's dive into 6 high-impact protocols that, when combined, can create a meaningful increase in explosive leg strength within 2 days. Neural priming through explosive movements is one of the fastest and most reliable ways to increase leg power in a short time frame, especially when you're working with just 48 hours. The key principle behind this strategy lies in targeting the nervous system, not just the muscles. While traditional strength training often focuses on building muscle size over time, neural priming is about training the communication lines between your brain and your muscles to fire more efficiently and forcefully, almost instantly. When you perform explosive movements like jump squats, sprint bursts, or even short sets of kettlebell swings, you're activating what are known as high threshold motor units. These motor units control fast twitch muscle fibers, which are responsible for generating rapid, powerful force. Unlike slow twitch fibers, which are designed for endurance and repetitive actions, fast twitch fibers are recruited only when your body perceives the need for maximum intensity. By deliberately stimulating these fibers through brief but intense explosive activity, you're essentially teaching your nervous system to prioritize speed and force output over duration. This matters because power isn't just a muscular phenomenon, it's a neurological one. The ability to generate force quickly, or what's known as the rate of force development, is governed heavily by your nervous system. Think of your brain as the command center and your muscles as the machinery. Neural priming sharpens the signal coming from the brain, reducing hesitation in the motor response and allowing for more efficient recruitment of the right muscle fibers at the right time. One important aspect of neural priming is intent. It's not just about going through the motion of a jump or a sprint, it's about performing that movement with maximal intent, accelerating as quickly and forcefully as possible. This intent to move fast sends a distinct signal to the central nervous system, engaging the exact neural pathways you'll rely on during peak performance situations. Studies in sports neuroscience consistently show that intent-driven explosive training improves not just immediate performance, but also the neuromuscular coordination that underlies long-term adaptation. Another benefit of neural priming is that it doesn't generate the same kind of fatigue that heavy lifting or endurance training can cause. This makes it ideal for use in a 40-hour optimization window. You're not trying to tear the muscle down. You're trying to wake the system up. Sessions can be as short as 10-15 minutes, involving just a few high-quality sets of 5-8 reps, and they should leave you feeling more energized, not depleted. Timing is also critical. Performing neural priming sessions 24 to 48 hours before a performance event can have a post-activation potentiation effect, where the nervous system remains in a heightened state of readiness for up to 2 days. This is particularly useful for athletes or anyone preparing for an explosive task like sprinting, jumping, or lifting heavy. In short, neural priming is about speaking the language of your nervous system: short, explosive, and intentional. When done correctly, it creates a neurological environment where leg power can be accessed quickly and effectively, even on a tight 48-hour timeline. Contrast training is a powerful technique designed to rapidly enhance power output by leveraging the body's natural neuromuscular responses. It works by alternating between heavy resistance exercises and explosive bodyweight or lightly loaded movements in the same training session. This method isn't just about lifting heavier or jumping higher. It's about optimizing the sequence of how your nervous system and muscular system interact. When applied strategically, especially in a 48-hour performance window, contrast training can significantly increase leg power in a short period of time. The core mechanism behind contrast training is something known in exercise physiology as post-activation potentiation, or PAP. This phenomenon refers to a temporary increase in muscle performance following a heavy near maximal contraction. In practical terms, when you perform a heavy back squat at 85-90% of your 1 REP max, your nervous system becomes highly activated. This activation persists briefly after the lift, creating a prime opportunity to transfer that heightened neural state into an explosive movement like a jump or sprint. The heavy lift acts as a stimulus that charges up the nervous system, and the subsequent plyometric movement takes advantage of that charge. To maximize the effectiveness of contrast training, the exercises need to be paired appropriately. The heavy movement should mimic the mechanics of the explosive movement that follows. For example, a heavy back squat might be followed by vertical jumps, or a loaded step up could precede a series of bounding strides. This movement pairing ensures that the neural activation generated by the heavy lift directly translates into the same motor patterns used in the explosive task. The result is improved motor unit recruitment, better synchronization of muscle firing, and a more efficient force production pattern. Timing and rest intervals also play a crucial role. Typically, a short rest of 2 to 4 minutes is given between the heavy lift and the explosive move. This allows fatigue to subside just enough for the athlete to express maximum force in the plyometric component while still capitalizing on the elevated neural readiness created by the lift. It's a delicate balance. Too little rest and fatigue dulls the effect. Too much rest and the potentiation window closes. What makes contrast training ideal for a 48-hour leg power boost is that it trains both ends of the force velocity curve in a single session. The heavy lift builds maximum force capacity, while the explosive movement trains the ability to express that force quickly. This dual adaptation stimulates the central nervous system in a way that leads to immediate improvements in explosive strength and power. Additionally, the volume required for this type of training is relatively low. Just 3 to 4 sets of a well-paired contrast combo can be enough to yield a significant neuromuscular response without overloading the system. In the final hours before a performance, contrast training acts almost like a performance enhancer for your nervous system. It doesn't just prepare the muscles to work hard, it teaches them to work smart. The result is faster ground contact, higher jumps, quicker sprints, and ultimately more powerful legs. And ultimately more powerful legs. When used with precision, contrast training becomes one of the most efficient tools for short-term power optimization. Sleep-driven muscle potentiation is one of the most underrated yet profoundly impactful methods for increasing leg power in a short time window. While most people associate strength and performance gains with time spent in the gym, the truth is that many of the actual adaptations your body makes, neurological, hormonal, and muscular, occur during sleep. In the context of boosting leg power in just 48 hours, sleep is not just recovery. It's a biological amplifier that enables everything else you do, training, nutrition, priming, to have a meaningful effect. When you sleep, particularly during the early stages of deep non-REM, non-rapid eye movement sleep, your body enters a highly anabolic state. One of the key hormones released in large quantities during this phase is human growth hormone, HGH. This hormone is critical for repairing damaged muscle fibers, synthesizing new proteins, and restoring neuromuscular connections. After a session of neural priming or contrast training, your muscles are in a sensitized state, primed to grow stronger and more explosive. But they can only do so if the right hormonal environment is present. That environment is created during deep sleep. Beyond hormonal activity, sleep also improves the coordination between your brain and muscles. Motor learning and neuromuscular patterning consolidate when you sleep, meaning the explosive movement patterns you practiced earlier in the day are downloaded into your nervous system and reinforced. This leads to greater movement efficiency, quicker motor unit recruitment, and better overall synchronization between the brain and the legs. In performance terms, that means your legs not only grow stronger, but react and move more quickly, exactly what you want when trying to increase power. The quality of sleep matters just as much as the quantity. To maximize the muscle potentiating effects of sleep, it's essential to create an environment that supports deep, uninterrupted rest. This includes minimizing blue light exposure in the hour before bed, keeping the room cool, ideally between 60-67 DHF or 15-19 DHSC, and possibly using supplements like magnesium glycinate or glycine, both of which have been shown to support sleep quality and recovery. Even a single night of high-quality sleep after an intense workout session can significantly improve force output the following day. Another factor to consider is circadian timing. The body's natural rhythms play a key role in regulating hormones, inflammation, and even muscular function. Going to bed and waking up at consistent times helps the brain enter deep sleep more efficiently and maintain a stable rhythm of recovery hormone secretion. The more consistent your sleep schedule, the more reliable your performance will be. In a 48-hour timeline, sleep functions as a performance multiplier. You can do all the right things during the day, train hard, eat smart, even use advanced techniques like contrast sets. But if you're skimping on sleep, you're only accessing a fraction of your potential. Sleep is where the gains are locked in, where the nervous system resets, and where muscles regenerate with greater strength and responsiveness. If the goal is to rapidly enhance leg power, then prioritizing deep restorative sleep is not optional, it's essential. Targeted nutrition and creatine loading are two of the most effective strategies for rapidly enhancing leg power, especially within a narrow 48-hour window. While training and recovery are critical components of any performance improvement plan, the fuel you provide your body plays an equally essential role. Without the right substrates, carbohydrates for energy, protein for repair, and key supplements like creatine to support cellular function, the gains from your training efforts will be limited, delayed, or even lost altogether. Immediately after explosive or contrast-based training, your muscles are highly sensitive to nutrient intake. This window, often referred to as the post-exercise anabolic window, is when muscle cells are primed to absorb nutrients and initiate the repair and growth process. Consuming a fast-digesting carbohydrate, such as white rice fruit or a high glycemic shake, paired with a rapidly absorbed protein source like whey isolate, can dramatically increase glycogen resynthesis and amino acid uptake. This replenishment process is not just about energy recovery, it also supports the restoration of ATP, the primary energy currency used during high-intensity muscle contractions. The more efficiently you restore these energy stores, the faster your legs will be ready to generate force again. Protein is crucial in this phase. A dose of around 20 to 40 grams of high-quality protein, rich in leucine and other essential amino acids, triggers muscle protein synthesis, a key driver of adaptation and power output. Timing is critical. Consuming this meal or shake within 30 to 60 minutes post-workout ensures the muscle gets what it needs during its most receptive state. This isn't just about building muscle over time, it's about accelerating the recovery process in hours, not days, which is crucial when you're working on a 48-hour optimization timeline. Creatine monohydrate deserves special mention due to its unique role in power production. Creatine increases the availability of phosphocreatine in muscle cells, which in turn allows for faster regeneration of ATP during short, explosive efforts. This makes it one of the most research-supported supplements for increasing strength and power. To get the full benefit of creatine in a short time frame, a loading phase can be used. This involves consuming 20 grams per day, split into 4 doses of 5 grams each for 2 days. This rapid saturation method increases intramuscular creatines quickly, giving you more available fuel for high-power outputs during training or competition. It's also important to hydrate adequately during the loading phase, as creatine pulls water into muscle cells. This cell volumization effect may contribute to performance enhancement and improved muscle signaling. Pairing creatine with carbohydrates further improves its uptake into the muscle, making the post-training carbohydrate protein shake an ideal delivery system. Lastly, including anti-inflammatory foods like berries, omega-3 rich fish, or turmeric during your 48-hour protocol can help reduce unnecessary muscle soreness and keep your body in a more recovered, primed state. Avoiding junk food, alcohol, and excessive caffeine during this window also prevents the disruption of key hormonal and metabolic processes. In a short time frame, nutrition is either your greatest ally or your limiting factor. Done right, targeted nutrition and creatine loading combine to accelerate recovery, maximize energy availability, and prime the neuromuscular system for explosive performance. Isometric holds are a surprisingly powerful and often overlooked tool for enhancing central nervous system sense activation, particularly when the goal is to boost leg power in a condensed time frame like 48 hours. While dynamic movements like jumps and lifts are often emphasized in power training, isometric exercises where the muscle is engaged without changing its length serve a unique neurological purpose. They deliver a high-intensity signal to the nervous system with minimal physical wear and tear, making them ideal for short-term performance optimization. The central nervous system plays a critical role in power output. Every explosive action, from a vertical jump to a sprint, begins with a signal from the brain. That signal travels through the spinal cord, into the nerves, and ultimately reaches the muscles. The speed, intensity, and coordination of that signal determines how quickly and powerfully the muscles respond. Isometric holds, especially when performed at maximum or near maximum effort, act as a high-voltage wake-up call to the nervous system. They increase motor unit recruitment, the process by which muscle fibers are activated, and they do so in a way that demands maximum neural drive without requiring high-speed movement or joint impact. For leg power specifically, certain isometric positions are particularly effective. A wall sit held at a 90-degree knee angle, a mid-squat pause with a barbell without going to full depth, or an isometric lunge hold can target the large muscle groups of the quadriceps, glutes, and hamstrings. These positions place the muscles under continuous tension and force the nervous system to sustain a high output of recruitment and signaling. What's important here is not just the position itself, but the intent. The goal is to contract the muscles as hard as possible while maintaining stillness. This is what drives the neuromuscular adaptation. The beauty of isometric training is that it can be performed with little to no equipment, making it highly accessible and low impact. A protocol might involve 3 to 4 sets of 10 to 30 seconds per position with full effort during each hold. Because there's no movement, there's very little mechanical damage to the muscle, meaning it doesn't produce the same kind of soreness or fatigue as traditional concentric or eccentric training. This makes it particularly useful when trying to stay fresh and explosive within a 48-hour performance window. There's also a mental component. Isometric holds demand focus and discipline, which helps train the neuromuscular connection and improves body awareness. When performed regularly, or even just a couple of times in a short window, they improve your ability to produce force quickly once movement is initiated. This enhanced neural readiness translates directly into improved leg drive, faster reaction time, and stronger ground contact during explosive tasks. Isometric training has been shown in multiple studies to improve joint angle-specific strength. This means that the position you train in is the position in which you'll see the most benefit. So if you're preparing for a jump or sprint, it makes sense to perform isometric holds at joint angles that mimic those actions. Over time, and even in as little as 48 hours, the nervous system adapts to this targeted stimulus, allowing for greater and faster force production exactly where you need it. In short, isometric holds serve as a neurological amplifier. They fine-tune the communication between your brain and muscles, increase neural drive, and enhance motor unit synchronization, all without excessive fatigue. For anyone looking to unlock more leg power quickly, integrating intense isometric holds into your routine is a smart, science-backed move. Cold exposure combined with blood flow contrast therapy is an increasingly popular and scientifically supported method to accelerate recovery and enhance muscle performance, making it highly effective for boosting leg power within a tight 48-hour window. This approach utilizes the physiological responses of your vascular system to alternating temperatures, which helps reduce inflammation, flush out metabolic waste, and improve oxygen delivery to muscle tissue. The result is faster recovery, reduced muscle soreness, and enhanced readiness for explosive power output. When muscles contract forcefully during training, they generate metabolic byproducts like lactic acid and experience microtrauma at the cellular level. This leads to inflammation and a buildup of waste products. which can impair muscle function and delay the recovery process. Cold exposure, such as ice baths or cold showers, triggers vasoconstriction, narrowing of the blood vessels, which reduces blood flow to the muscles temporarily. This constriction helps limit swelling and inflammation by restricting fluid accumulation in the tissue, essentially turning down the heat on the inflammatory response. Following the cold exposure, applying heat or performing light movement induces vasodilation, the widening of blood vessels, which increases blood flow to the muscles. This increased circulation flushes out the waste products accumulated during exercise and delivers oxygen and essential nutrients necessary for repair and regeneration. This cyclical process of constriction and dilation, known as blood flow contrast therapy, essentially acts as a vascular pump, enhancing the efficiency of the body's natural recovery mechanisms. The timing and method of cold exposure matter for maximizing leg power benefits. Ideally, cold exposure sessions last around 10 minutes and should be followed by a warm-up or light activity to stimulate blood flow. This could be a gentle jog, dynamic stretching, or a warm compress applied to the legs. Doing 2 cycles of this contrast cold exposure followed by warm movement within the 48 hours post-training can significantly reduce muscle soreness and prepare the legs for peak performance. Cold exposure also has neurological benefits that contribute to power gains. The cold stimulates the sympathetic nervous system, which can heighten alertness and increase motor recruitment efficiency. This heightened state of nervous system readiness means that when you perform explosive movements, your muscles are better primed to respond quickly and forcefully. Another important aspect is the anti-inflammatory effect of cold exposure, which helps reduce delayed onset muscle soreness, DMS. Less soreness means you can maintain higher training intensity and frequency within a short time frame, which is crucial when trying to boost leg power rapidly. It also allows your muscles to maintain their contractile efficiency without the drag of pain or stiffness. Hydrotherapy protocols combining cold and heat have been used by elite athletes and rehabilitation specialists for decades, but recent research has validated their role in enhancing recovery and power output. By strategically incorporating cold exposure and blood flow contrast into your routine, you create an environment that promotes rapid tissue repair and optimal muscle function. In summary, cold exposure paired with blood flow contrast is a highly effective recovery strategy that accelerates muscle healing, reduces inflammation, and primes the nervous system for maximal output. In a 48-hour window, this method not only speeds up recovery, but actively enhances your leg power potential by improving how quickly and efficiently your muscles can generate force. Incorporating these simple yet powerful techniques into your training cycle ensures you're physically and neurologically ready to perform at your best. In conclusion, boosting leg power in just 48 hours is entirely achievable when you combine targeted strategies that optimize both your nervous system and muscular function. By engaging in neural priming through explosive movements, you activate the fast twitch fibers that drive powerful, rapid contractions. Strategic contrast training then amplifies this effect by pairing heavy lifts with explosive exercises, maximizing neural recruitment and force production. Sleep-driven muscle potentiation ensures that your body repairs, rebuilds, and strengthens itself efficiently during deep rest, solidifying the gains from training. Complementing these efforts with targeted nutrition and creatine, loading fuels your muscles for quick recovery and peak performance. Incorporating isometric holds further sharpens central nervous system activation, enhancing your ability to recruit muscles with greater intensity and precision. Finally, cold exposure combined with blood flow contrast therapy accelerates recovery by reducing inflammation and optimizing circulation, preparing your legs to generate maximum power without delay. Together, these evidence-based methods create a powerful synergy that primes your body and mind for explosive leg power, fast, efficient, and effective within a short, critical window. Prioritize these approaches, and you'll unlock rapid, meaningful improvements that translate directly to better athletic performance or everyday strength.